Here we are again with credit cards, part 3 of our credit card unit. And so we've already figured out our average daily balance for a month. We've already discussed how to understand a statement. We've already discussed a little bit about annual percentage rate. Today we're going to figure out how do credit card companies make money. Now this is the biggest key to this unit, is understanding how finance charges are calculated. Okay, this is very current. This is exactly how credit card companies figure out what it costs you to do business with them. They got to make money too, so we got to think about this. Okay, so our goal today, we will be able to determine our finance charge for a given month of purchases. Given month, okay, remember I talked about we're only going to be dealing with April. April has 30 days, so remember that going forward, okay? So finance charge, let's start with our key terms. Finance charge, the cost of borrowing money from a lender or credit card company. It's also called an interest charge, but it's a cost. They charge us for us to borrow their money, and we're buying on credit, and that always has a cost. Now, our second one is daily periodic interest rate. Now, we've talked continually about annual rates. Well, we can figure out our daily periodic interest rate by dividing, so we have our APR, our annual percentage rate, divided by the number of days in the year. Well, that's 365, right? So we have our APR divided by 365, and then we'll find it. We'll give an example here. So a typical APR for a credit card is between 19 and 21%, and that's not having good credit. Good credit would be right around 12% or 14%. Now, let's look at this right here, 19.85 APR. That's our annual percentage rate. I'm going to slide forward a little bit here. Find the daily periodic rate. Now, that's the daily periodic interest rate. So we just have to divide it. So I've got a fraction bar here. I'm going to put 1985, okay? And I'm going to put 365 under there. Now, we're going to get a decimal when we put this into the calculator. See if I can get that shadow out of there. So I got 19.85 divided by 365. Now, notice what we got here. We got 0.05438 going on and on. And so you usually only round to the thousandth place. So we're going to write down 0.054, okay? So 0.054. Remember, we are still with a percentage here. Now remember, whenever we do calculations, we always have to have it in decimal form. Now, how do we get it in decimal form? Well, we have this 0.054 divided by 100, right? And the answer, if I put it in the calculator, is we're going to get 0.000, okay? 54. Now this is going to be important, very important to us, okay? So we have this to that. Now, the formula for calculating finance charge, just like we did in part 2, we need our average daily balance. We need our daily periodic rate, which we just figured out. But what it doesn't say here is it has to be in decimal form. Now, if you need to remember that, decimal, DD, daily decimal, DD. So remember that. This is super important, or you are going to get a huge finance charge. And then multiply that times days in the billing cycle. Remember, for most of this unit, we're going to be using 30. So average daily balance times decimal form of the daily periodic rate, which is right over here, times days in the billing cycle. And we're going to do a couple scenarios here. And we're going to do one, and then I'm going to take a break, and then we'll come back and maybe do a challenge one. But let's look at the algorithm. Okay, I'm going to put it right here. This class is all about algorithms, a step-by-step approach to solving problems. So right over here, we've got algorithm for finding finance charge. Step 1, determine the average daily balance. Now that's what we did in part 2. So if you're confused about that, take a look at that video again on part 2. Step 2, determine the daily periodic interest rate in decimal form. That's what we did right up here, okay? And we're gonna be able to do that every time, I promise you. And then step 3, we have determine how many days are in the billing cycle. And for the most part, it's gonna be 30. Depends on the question, okay? Now, step 4 is we use step 1, step 2, step 3. We throw it into the formula. Remember the formulas right here? Average daily balance times decimal form of the daily periodic rate times days in the billing cycle. And then we're going to find our cost of using credit. Okay, we got Cindy from first hour. Cindy had an average daily balance of $1,250 on her credit card statement. Her card has an APR of 18.99%. What was her cost of using the credit card? Now remember, cost of using the credit card is our finance charge, okay? So step one, just like right over here, we have find average daily balance. Average daily balance. Well, it already told us what it is. So I'm just going to write it here. And thank you, Troy, for giving that to us. We don't have to calculate it. 15 minutes of calculating. And we already found step one. Step two, find the daily periodic interest rate. So remember, we have to do the APR divided by 365. APR divided by 365. Well, what's our APR? 18.99, and we're going to divide that by 365, right? And I'm just going to have a little space right there. We're going to put it right in there. Remember, it's going to be a decimal like that one. So I got 18.99 divided by 365. I get 0.052. 0.052. Remember, we need that in decimal form. So if I divide that by 100, I'm going to get 0.00052. Okay, I'm going to circle that because we're going to need it. I'm going to circle that because we're going to need it. And now number of days in billing cycle. Remember, April. If it says April, it's going to be 30 days. I'm going to circle that. So I got step one, I got step two, I got step three. I am ready to find finance charge. So step four right down there, use the formula. Finance charge, average daily balance. I got $1,250. I'm going to use the box method again, okay? And it's going to give me finance charge. So we've got our daily periodic rate. Remember, decimal form. Big stars right there. Got to remember decimal form. And that's over here. So we got 0.00052 times days in the billing cycle, which we have 30. So I'm going to put that in my calculator. I'm going to clear that out here. I got 1250 times 0.00052 times 30. And right there we have it. It's 19.5. Is that how we represent money? No, that is not how we represent money. We have to add a zero, okay? So our finance charge here was almost 20 bucks. It's $19.50. That's what Cindy's going to get charged from the credit card company for borrowing their money. I hope that helped find finance charge. We're going to have a take two on this. We're going to do a challenge problems on page 2. But this is exactly how you do it. And just follow the algorithm. We're going to be good to go.